snap left, and let's see, I need another window open.
Cool.
Snap right, snap right, and snap left. Okay, there we go.
Cool. How's your day been so far?
What's that?
How's your day been so far?
Not bad. Pretty busy.
Good.
Yeah, today was really, I was booked solid from like 3 to 9.
Wow.
I'm sorry that I couldn't move it up. I'm always
No
willing
worries.
to if I have space.
Yeah, no worries.
If I don't, it's hard.
Yeah,
So
definitely. No problem.
they want us to write the equation given 2 points, basically.
Uh-huh.
All 4 problems in number 6 are 2 points.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
A and B are 2 points, and C is actually 2 points.
Uh-huh.
C, the x point is 1, the y point is 7.
Yep.
And the other x point is 3, and the y point is 1.
Uh-huh.
So when they
Is it to
give
find
you,
the...
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say to find the slope for these lines, you would just do y squared minus y1 over y2 minus, or yeah, x2 minus x1.
Okay,
Is that
so
right?
for A, what's the slope going to be?
So it's 1 minus a minus 2, so it'd be 3 over negative 7.
So what's the slope?
3 over 7. Negative 7. Negative, yeah.
Negative 3/7.
Yeah.
Remember that it doesn't matter if the negative sign is in the numerator, the denominator, or out front. It means the same thing, all 3 things.
Yeah.
So we have a slope of minus 3/7,
Uh-huh.
and we have a couple of points. But once you get a slope and a point, you can come up with the slope-intercept form.
Okay.
How do I do it? In other words, the slope-intercept form is y equal what?
mx plus b.
Okay. And we know m
Uh-huh.
is minus
Negative
3/7. So if we could solve for b, we would have the equation.
Uh-huh.
How can
So
I
to
solve
solve...
for b?
Yeah, so to solve for b, you would just plug in an x value, right, from
Of
the
what?
2 points.
Well, not of the 2 points. Pick one of the points. In other
Yeah.
words, is all you really need is slope and 1 point.
Let's
Notice
do
that
0.
if I have 1 point and slope, that completely determines the line. Its positioning, everything about it.
Yeah.
So pick the easiest point and plug it in for x and y. And that
Okay.
will leave b as the only variable.
0, 1 then.
So
So it'd be, yeah, 1 is equal to
okay,
negative 3/7 times 0
okay.
plus b.
So what's b equal to?
So b would be equal to negative 2/7.
What's minus 3/7 times 0?
Just 0, so it'd be 1.
Exactly. And now what's the equation of the line?
Y is equal to negative 3/7 x plus 1.
That's it. That's the answer.
Cool.
And that's how you're going to do all of these problems.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
So
Okay.
let's do number 2, or B. So our points are 5, 0, and minus 3, comma 2. So first thing?
So to find the slope at y2 minus y1 over, yeah, x2 minus x1, so it'd be y is equal to negative 1/4 x, or,
The
2,
slope,
I
slope
jumped
is
ahead,
negative 1/4, yeah.
yeah, I reduced it, my bad.
That's all right. Which means we have this much of the final equation.
Yeah.
Now, solve for B.
Okay. So let's do 5, 0, because,
Okay?
so it'd be 5 is equal to,
Hold on. Make
or
sure you don't get
0.
them backwards. It's real easy to do. because the coordinates are always given to you as x comma y. But this equation is always y on the left, x on the right.
Yeah.
So it's a really easy mistake to substitute the wrong point for the wrong variable.
Okay.
So if we're going to use this point, we could use either point, but I don't have any problems using that. They're both positive numbers and one of them is 0. That should make it pretty easy. But we got
exactly.
the 0 goes there. 5
is equal
goes
to
there.
Uh-huh.
So what's b equal to?
So we would negative 1/4 times 5 is negative 1/20, right?
Pretend there's a 1 under that. What's minus 1/4 times 5 over 1?
Negative 5/4.
Okay.
So it would be negative 5/4 is equal to b. Aspen, stop. It's okay.
Well, it's negative 5/4 plus b is equal to 0.
Okay. So we would subtract, or add, because it's a negative.
Okay.
So
So
it'd
what's
be
b equal to?
5/4.
And your equation?
So it'd be y is equal to negative 1/4 x plus 5/4.
You got it. I think you can do every one of these.
Cool.
Now let's just do C to make sure you understand this notation. So what are my 2 points?
1, 7, and 3, 1.
Slope?
So the slope would be negative 6 over 2. Or, yeah, 3 over 1. Negative 3 1 over 1.
So now what?
1, and then the y-intercept, we could use points 3, 1, because they're the smallest.
Okay.
So now
I think it's helpful if we do this. In other words, let's write that step in there.
Okay.
We know the slope.
Uh-huh.
Let's put it in, minus 3. Now pick a point, plug it in for x and y, and solve for b.
Okay. So we could do, we're on C, so we could do 1 is equal to negative 3 times 3 plus b.
What's b equal to?
So it'd be 1 is equal to negative 9 plus b. So it would be b is equal to 10.
And that changes that to a 10 right there. And there's your equation.
Cool.
I don't think we need to do D. I think you got this down really good.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Cool.
Scatter plots. Notice a scatter plot is a collection of dots. We don't have the continuous function for that vehicle. All we know is that at the end of 1 year, it was worth 24,000. The end of 2 years, it was worth 21,000. End of 3 years, maybe 19. But if you look at those dots, it's a pretty much of a straight line. In other words, I've got a dot there, a dot here, a dot there, a dot there, a dot there, a dot there. If I draw a best fit line of the data, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Well, once I have that best fit line, I can see where it goes. In other words, what's that value right there?
Right there. 220. Wait, which one are you looking at? You're looking at...
Because all I've done was I've duplicated that. In other words, this is 24.9. Right?
Yeah.
So if I carry that back, it looks like about 25,000.
Yeah.
Maybe 26.
Uh-huh.
Probably 26.
Probably,
How
yeah.
can we figure out what it is?
Um,
How
you
can
could,
I make a good approximation of the equation of that line?
um, well,
How about we
just,
take 2 points,
uh-huh,
the two that are furthest apart,
uh-huh.
and do the same exercise that we did on 6.
Okay, yeah, pick
That'll
out
give
2
us the
points and then
equation
do
of
that.
the line. So give me 2 points that
Okay,
they have given us.
let's see. Oh, we got 515 and then,
Okay, there's a good one. The problem is that I'm going to be better off if I have 2 points that are separated by a lot. In other words, if
yeah,
I use 2 points that are close together, I'm not going to have very accurate.
right,
The
yeah.
further apart my points are, the better off I'm going to be. So
Okay.
I would say let's use this as 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call it 1 comma 24.
Yeah, that looks about
We're
24.
approximating anyway. In
Yeah.
other words, they didn't give us a chart that allows us to be real accurate.
Uh-huh. And
So,
then we could do like 8, 7, right? That
exactly,
looks about 7. Yeah.
exactly. When the
Yeah.
horizontal axis, when x is 8, the value of the car is down to 7.
Yeah.
Okay? Now I don't even need this curve anymore. I've got 2 points. The problem becomes exactly what it was in number 6. Tell me how to come up with the equation of that line.
So it'd be 7 minus 24.
It's minus 17.
Yep. So it'd be minus 17 over 7.
That's our slope.
Um,
Y equals minus 17 over 7x plus b.
uh-huh.
Pick a point.
Then we can do, let's do 8, 7. Or no, well,
No, 8,
yeah,
7's better because they're lower numbers.
yeah.
24 is a pretty big number.
Yeah, you
If
get a
we
big
use
number with
24,
that.
our first step is going to be multiply everything by 7, so it's better if we use lower numbers. So
Yeah.
7, I'm going to use the number on the right, equals minus 17 sevenths, x is 8,
Uh-huh.
plus
Plus B.
b. Well,
Alright.
now it's just a multiplication problem.
Yeah. 17.
What's the best way to solve this at this point?
Um, just, I guess, after you find the answer, you just reduce it.
Well, let's multiply everything by 7
Okay.
to get rid of that denominator.
Yeah.
All equations are easier if you do not have fractions.
Yeah.
But I got to be very careful. If I'm multiplying everything by 7, I got to multiply the left side by 7 and the entire right side by 7.
Yeah.
Now, when I multiply the left side by 7, I get that. When I
Uh-huh.
multiply this by 7, it just gets rid of that. So I have 8 times minus 17, which is 136,
Uh-huh.
plus 7b.
Okay.
I had to multiply the b by 7 because I was multiplying the entire right side by 7.
Uh-huh.
But it's still a much easier equation to solve now.
For sure.
I don't have any
Yeah.
fractions. So I'm going to add 136 to both sides. So I have 185 over there equals 7b. b is
Uh-huh.
going to be 185 divided by 7. Now I know my equation. What's
Yeah.
my final equation? Just don't worry about simplifying.
Okay. So it'd be y is equal to 185 over 7x.
No, that's b, not
Oh,
slope.
so yeah, that's b. So it'd be negative 136
No, what was slope again?
for x. Um, yeah, negative 17 over 7, my bad.
So
So y is equal
negative
to
17 over 7x
plus 185 over 7.
There's the equation of that line.
Okay.
As best as we can do.
Yeah.
Write an equation of the line. Notice they didn't say write the equation of the line. It's because it's not really a line. If you connect all these dots, it's a crooked line.
Uh-huh.
So when they say draw the best fit for the data, that means whatever straight line goes through those points the best.
Okay.
Now, use your equation to predict the value of the car after 10 years. Well, there's our equation. What's the
So we would just plug
after 10 years?
So we would just plug that in
For what?
x in for 10.
Okay. So we got y equal minus 17/7 times 10 years plus 185 over 7. Well, that's minus 170 over 7 plus 185 over 7. That's plus 15/7. Right?
Yep.
In other words, I got a common denominator, so I can just add the numerators. 15 over 7. So at the end of 2 years, that car, or 10 years, that car is worth approximately $2,000. 2 $1,700.
Man.
Not much. That's
That's a good price.
well, after 10 years though, that car probably has 150,000 miles on it, so it's probably not worth much more than that. But notice that car started out at 26,000. So at 10 years, it's depreciated not quite to nothing.
Yeah.
So use your equation to predict the age of the car when it's worth $1,000. Well, here's our equation, what I have circled.
So it'd be 1,000 is equal to that equation.
Yes, and that's going to let us solve for x.
Okay.
In other words, they want to know when y will be 1,000.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured out that when x is 10, y is still over 2,000. So it must be more than 10. Not that we really care about that at this moment. That's just an algebra problem now.
Yeah.
Solving for x. Of course, we would move that on the other side. And then we would multiply both sides by the negative reciprocal of that.
Okay.
In order to get rid of it.
Right. Cool.
Now let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
What is 185 divided by 7?
I think I did 26.42.
Okay, so I'm going to subtract 26.42. So that gives me 974 approximately. After I move that over. And now I've got 974 equals minus 17 over 7x. And this is the step I want to make sure you know how to do.
Yeah. So we could do 974 times negative 17 divided by 7.
No, you got to, if we're going to multiply both sides, we got to multiply by the reciprocal of this.
So 174 times 7 divided by negative 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not 134, but 974. In other words, if I multiply that by the reciprocal, not the negative reciprocal, the reciprocal, and I got to multiply this by that reciprocal, and notice what happens to the right side. That cancels with that, that cancels with that, the two negative sides cancel, and I'm left with x. So x is?
I got 401.05.
It is negative.
Negative, yeah.
Well, what did I do wrong?
Maybe that's how much it's gone down.
No. What this is telling us is that it's never worked. I must have made a mistake mathematically because
Yeah.
I came up with a negative value for x. Well,
Yeah.
x is the number of years, the age of the car. You can't have a negative value for it. And in fact, clearly our answer has to be approximately 10.
Uh-huh.
What did I do wrong? I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong here. How can this be?
Yeah, that's alright.
If I continue that line, clearly the car is going to be worth $1,000 when x is about
10.
11. No, we already figured out that when x was 10, the car's worth $2,100. So
when it's about like 12 or 13.
Yeah, when it's 12 or 13 years old, it's going to be worth just $1,000.
Uh-huh.
I've made a mistake here, and I'm staring right at it, and I can't figure out what I did. The slope is definitely negative.
Uh-huh.
And this y-intercept, that y-intercept is not 26, it's 26,000.
That's why we did wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
In other words, it's 26 on this axis, but that's in thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I used thousands of dollars when I had y equal to 1,000.
Uh-huh.
So really what it is here's the equation. 1,000 equals minus 17/7 x, but instead of 185 over 7, it's that times 1,000. So
Yeah.
it's really, you came up 26, it's really 26,000.
Uh-huh.
That makes a lot of sense because that would be the y-intercept, right?
Yeah.
If I extend that line all the way to the left, it's going to cross there at about 26,000. Now, when I subtract 26,000 from both sides, I get a minus sign over there.
Uh-huh.
And that's equal to minus 17/7 x. Now I can multiply by my negative 7 over 17ths and I get a positive value.
Yeah.
In other words, if I multiply that whole thing by negative 7 over 17, it makes it positive. And it gives us a positive value for x. That is going to be around 12 or 13 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I got.
What 7 over 17 times 25,000 is. It's going to be in that neighborhood.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a good, interesting problem as to what can happen. If I use 1,000 over there, then I got to make sure I put that in thousands.
Yeah.
Instead of in the numbers that they're showing us.
Yeah.
If I wanted to use these numbers, then I really needed to put in 1 for y.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Then I could have done it.
Yeah.
But I can't put in 1,000 for y and then put in 185 over 7 for the y-intercept.
No.
All right. Cool. Glad we did that problem because
definitely
highlighted a big problem. So
for sure. Yeah.
And in fact, I might not even have the right value for C. You might want to look at C again.
Sure. Yeah, I can look that over.
Although we came up with 2 and 1/7, which was 2 and 1/7 thousand dollars.
Yeah.
Now, we did C okay because we left everything in these digits and then converted it to thousand at the end. The only mistake you can't make is using 1,000 there and then leaving that number.
Right.
and that's the number of thousands it is.
Yeah, it just
You have to
doesn't
be
work.
consistent in your equation. Otherwise, something happens like what happened the first time I did it. I got an answer that couldn't be right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Cool.
Dylan, we'll call it a session and
Awesome.
have good baseball practice tonight or whatever it is you're going
Thank
to
you.
do.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I will talk to you next time.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mr. Cowan.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.